Hey to all my YouTube mechanics. 2012 Durango here today. This is a pretty common problem amongst several of these setups. That's a 3.6 liter engine. Started leaking fluid. They started leaking fluid pretty badly. Started getting it out the bottom, just pouring. Customer come back wanting it replaced. So here's the catch. It is integrated. Your transcooler is what leaks, and there's actually a seam. The seam is right up in here, and if you look real close up here while it's running, you can actually see the leak, which I won't be able to focus on here. I'm holding a giant light. Transmission cooler. It is integrated with your air conditioner condenser. So that means the first 4 rows of your condenser are trans fluid. The bottom is Freon. So you want to talk about a tough job. Evacuate the system, pay for Freon, it's just an endless bill when it comes to AC work. So let's skip that entirely. What I have gotten, you've got just a little gap here. This is about all you have, unless you want to remove this whole bumper fascia. This is all you have. Let's get a light on here. So a little bit of space. Luckily, a lot of people don't do this. Here's your trans lines. They go to it, not your radiator, but behind your radiator. So the radiator will have to be drained and removed. That's not your radiator. Those are grooves in your radiator right here for the lines to go behind them. So possibility you'd have to drain the radiator. What I actually went and picked up, got some hoses with it. Aftermarket trans cooler. Now, because we're not using the old trans cooler anymore, we're going to stick these. This is how it was intended. You jam these right through the fins of the old and the new, rather. That's how you secure them together, is just stab it right through, and that's basically a nut for your zip tie. That's pretty neat. So this is the new trans cooler. It's going to actually cool the trans fluid significantly better than the current one. The current one's surrounded by hot components. I mean, that can't be too cool, right? If it's being cooled by 170 degree. Anyway, so we're gonna do that, and it looks to me like we can just slip this right through here. Now, though, the trans hoses are hydraulic, so you've got these dimples on, so you don't want to cut anywhere. I thought about maybe cutting here because I have one of these dimples here to help hold my hoses. So really all you need to do is pop these clips out. There's 2, we'll call them Jesus clips, that's what I've known them as, that hold these 2 lines in. So let's just remove those and not cut them, and attach the hose to the end and fish it through, and we will secure it right here to the front where I just showed you. So let me go ahead and start getting one of those out, and then I'll show you. Those are very easy to lose, but once you get them out, you don't really need them in this matter. But if you did, take the clip out, take the hose out, you put the clip back on, and the hose will actually just snap in there. You don't have to put the hose in and then the clip in. Anyway, let's go ahead and get these clips out. I'm on a limited time, but here I am playing on YouTube. But there were no videos on this. I looked to see how other people might have done this job, but I couldn't find any. So it looks like most people are just replacing the condenser, those that even know that it's an integrated part. So let me get right back. I thought the easiest way to go about it is a pick. I like this one. It's got that slightly bent edge. Yeah, it's totally intentional, Anyway, pardon me. You'll get that right on top of those clips. That's the clip there. So this one, we'll just go ahead and get it popped out. Looks like it's facing the other way. It just goes right in there like that, and just kind of slide it over. That's just rather than, that's opposed to taking this whole fitting off, you know. Now those will just pop out. Forgive me, I'm using a phone screen to do this because I'm trying to make sure I'm on it. I won't be able to do it while I'm recording, but you see how I'm doing it. You just pop it off, good. Get it about halfway off and then reach in there with a pair of pliers or stick something through so you don't lose these. These are good to have in your toolbox. These are very good to have. I'll just kind of, what I always do is stick the pick through it like that, and then I stick my finger on the side of it. Then it will, oh, see, I dropped it. But I wasn't too concerned about it, but they do get dropped and they're pretty hard to find, but I'm going to try to find that just for my collection. But that's okay. Once that hose is out, you're going to lose a little bit of fluid. This just pops right out. So be prepared. So if you're doing a transmission flush, that's the same way on Chevys, Dodges, on most vehicles. They just have retainer clips. You don't want to take out the fitting because they're really prone to leaking. You're not supposed to take them out. That's why new radiators, transmission, coolers, all that come with new ones on it. So I got that clip out. I'm going to go ahead and pull these hoses out. And what I'm going to do is just attach my fuel hose. This is high pressure hose. So this is braided fuel hose that's going to be doing this. Normally you don't put something like that on a hydraulic system. But these are very notorious. This customer's paying me $250 to do this as opposed to probably $1,200 to replace the condenser. That's just spitballing. I mean, including the $300 evac and recharge and all that, you're gonna be just getting up there. And then if you drain the coolant, you got coolant as well. So I'm sorry about all the swinging around. I'm gonna go find this clip. So got that second one just kind of popping out here. Got that trans fluid on my hands. Oh, I just popped back in. For now, I'll be adding one to my collection. That's good, right? Got a nice little collection in here. There's one. Alright, now that I have both lines out, be expecting a gush. Use gravity though to keep the lines up. Now, do you see your ends here? Those hoses will slip right in. They look just like these. I'll run the hoses somewhere. That's why I got a little extra. And we'll get it mounted right in the front. I'll just slip that cooler in. Alright, now let's see. I'm terrible at phoning. This cooler ought to just fit right through this hole that I pop up. We'll make a little room here. I'll pull it forward, slip it in. See if y'all can see this. Probably can't, that's alright. No big deal. So I went and passed right through the bottom. There's my hose laying there. I fished it through the lower radiator hose area. I'll connect this to these two pipes. I'll run a second one through there just the same. So you can kind of see what I did here. I'm glad I got the extra hose. It's always good to have hose. I'll fish them right through the bottom area. Basically, I fished them through until I could see them right here in this corner, in the bottom corner. And then I reached through that hole that I made here. Oh, shoot, I don't want to lose them. I reached through that hole that I made and kind of pulled them up. So I pulled up as much as I could. I'm going to be trimming them down, but for now I'm going to hold them outside of here and plug them into my cooler and go ahead and get the cooler mounted. What I did was dropped the power steering cooler, it just clipped in with two little clips. And I hung it down. Then I attached my new trans cooler to the power steering cooler using those provided zip ties. Then I'll go clip the power steering cooler right back up in its place. And see, power steering cooler clipped on pretty well the same way. It just snapped into the fins on the radiator. I doubt we'll be able to see it, but that's how that went. So now that it's in there, I'm just going ahead and slipping my hoses on. And I'm gonna get my clamps tightened down. And I'll just snap it back up in there. I'll trim the excess hose. I'll pull the hose back through the other side and cut it. I think this is gonna work fine. It looks like it went in nicely. I just snapped those right back in their original holes. So that clipped perfectly there, and the two new hoses run right through the side. Dinged it up a little. Just be careful not to damage anything. It's that pipe you don't want to hurt. Hoses went right up through the side. Now they'll be connected to their new homes, the trans lines. Then I'll adjust the fluid level as necessary. And we ought to be good to go. And there you go. Make sure you're past your ring. I like to put the hose clamp right on top of that little rivet on the metal pipe. Those are good to go. They fish all the way through. They go through here. And there's our new trans cooler mounted to the power steering cooler. It may still leak a little bit where we disconnected the old hose, and there's still a little bit of fluid in the old cooler. But essentially, we're good to go now, y'all. Thanks for watching.